Today we're going to look at more fat phobia in the fat acceptance community. Fat phobia is pretty much anybody, I guess, who's disgusted of people being fat. Like, phobia is a word to say that you're scared of something, you know? If you have arachnophobia, you're scared of spiders. But fat phobia, for some reason, doesn't mean you're scared of fat people. It means you're scared of... It means you don't accept them being fat or the things that they do because they're fat. I don't know. It's weird. It's like you're not even going off the full word phobia, and you're just saying people hate on you because you're fat. I don't know. That's just what this fat phobia thing is. It's pretty cringe, and we're gonna react to some of it today. Oh yeah. Another thing I saw too is somebody told me about this. Every single day, the average American watches 5 hours of television. That is a lot of television. Like, I don't ever watch TV. I watch YouTube and some other stuff, but still, I'm doing stuff while I'm doing that. Maybe eating food or cleaning my room while I have a YouTube video on. You know, I'm always doing something. And it's like to actually just sit there and watch TV for 5 hours every day, and then people wonder why they're fat or they're broke and all these other things. It makes no sense, man. If you're one of those people who just watches TV all day, please fill it up with something. There's so many things you could do in a day to progress yourself. Let's see this.
When people are fat phobic on this platform, you should be uncomfortable.
Why is she talking like that?
You should be uncomfortable.
She got stains on her shirt. Oh.
It is irresponsible to come on an app where there are vulnerable young people.
Okay, you can stop pausing.
And be so fat phobic.
Well, okay, and the other argument, it is so irresponsible for you to come onto this app and say that it is okay to be fat, and taking those vulnerable people who already feel bad and making them feel better. You're making them feel better, and they're appreciating themselves being obese. And now, heart disease is coming. They're not going to live very long. They're saying that they love themselves, and everybody else is just still like, this guy's delusional, you know, nobody wants him. Or they're like, oh yeah, you know, you go. And then they're still not really getting accepted by people. They're not getting hired as much. They're not getting a relationship. And she's saying promoting fat phobias should make people uncomfortable, and they shouldn't like it.
To spread such hate and harm.
Like, it's doing more good than harm if you're telling people that they need to lose weight. The harm is coming from saying that they need to accept it. And then this person, Tyler Adeva, bro. Not to mention the impressionable girls that develop EDs because they're told they should hate themselves. It's not even that. You should hate how you look because it's your fault that you're fat. We're not saying you should hate yourself as a person. We're saying you're fat, lose the weight, actually go do some work, instead of saying, oh, well, now I got an eating disorder. Now I got to eat 1 meal a day because I'm so fat. And even if you are actually eating 1 meal a day, you're going to lose weight. It's not healthy at all, but you're still going to lose weight. Unless they're talking about the other eating disorders where they're closet eaters, or maybe they eat to feel good. It's dopamine. So now they're eating more and more, and it's making them fatter. I don't know. Just blaming it on a bunch of eating disorders is it's stupid, Tyler Adeva. It's so dumb. Like, go and lose weight. You don't have to develop an eating disorder just because you're so soft that you can't handle somebody saying to lose weight. These people are weird. I feel like I saw this before. Being plus size is a choice. Let's see what happens. Okay, so all these
60 pounds in 6 months.
So being plus size is a choice. She disagrees, or they all disagree that being plus size is not a choice. You're just plus size, and she's saying plus size is a choice. Let's see what she says. I lost 60 pounds in 6 months, and everyone's so happy. It's not my fault that I'm fat.
Everyone was so happy for me. I hated myself.
Oh, yeah, I hate myself.
I hated the way I looked. I hated why I did why I exercise and things like that. And so I made the conscious decision of my parents are not going to be supportive, or maybe they won't like it. My community, the Korean community, is going to be really disappointed that there's a fat Korean walking around the world. But it was a choice for me to say, well, I don't want to work out 8 hours a day every day and hate what I look like to be skinnier, so I'm going to let myself eat more than a quarter cup of white rice.
Okay, so I guess the whole thing, like just going back and trying to understand it, everybody thinks that it's not their fault that they're fat. She's saying it is her fault that she's fat, but she's just describing her situation of how the Koreans and in the Asian community, they have to be very skinny. That's just either part of tradition, or they don't want, their family members to be huge. And she still, I guess, went past that and decided to be fat anyways, just because she wanted to eat more rice. But at least she admits it, so she knows that it is her fault, and that if she is fat, she will bear the consequences of that. The other people, though, they all went into the other direction, and they feel like being fat is a choice. They disagree. It's not a choice, and they're just fat. I don't know. It's really sad. It is my fault. I am fat. Comments are turned off. I wonder why. But it is your fault for being fat phobic. What? How is that? So when you're saying it's your fault that you're fat, you're not doing anything crazy. But when you call us fat phobic, you're just jumping and dancing around? That makes no sense. That literally makes no sense. You're dancing that we are fat phobic, that we don't like you being fat, but you still say that it's your fault that you're. I don't know. This is hurting my head. No wonder the comments were turned off. Oh, this guy. Asking people about fat phobia in Walmart. Let me see this.
So you're laughing at Fatphobia right now.
Oh yeah, totally. 100%.
So is it a real thing or not?
Like being scared of getting fat?
Yeah, it's like racism, but for fat people, not for black people. That's just normal racism. Like if a guy didn't want to date a girl because she was fat, is that fatphobia?
I think so. If he's dating her, choosing not to date her solely based on the fact that she's.
It's not that they don't like fat people because they're fat. It's just that they're simply not attracted to them. So that's my thoughts on that.
Do you think being fat phobic, is that an issue?
I don't think so. People usually don't get denied jobs for being fat if it doesn't play a role into things. But of course, finding someone to date, that's a whole different story.
Is it fat phobic to not want to date someone that is overweight or what you would consider fat?
No, because everyone has just their preferences and everyone has things that they like.
I don't get what they're trying to say here. They're like, is it fat phobic? Fat phobic is not bad. That's the thing here. Like, if he says, is it racist to do this? Because he was comparing it to racism. If you say, yes, that's racist, you're like, okay, that's bad. But here, even if he's saying, is it fat phobic to date fat people? Now I'm like, yeah, it's fat phobic, but I'm fat phobic because I wouldn't date a person because they don't know how to put down the Twinkies. Like, I'm not horrible for that. I just don't want my children to be walking muffins like their mother.
Like and don't like about
And I don't want to come home and she's taking all my money to spend on munchkins.
Would you date someone that was underweight?
Like, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, can I ask why?
I think you can still be healthy and underweight.
Yeah, I don't think it matters that much.
Do you not think weight really dictates on someone's level of healthiness?
It can, but I think sometimes everyone's lives works differently.
Do you think fat phobia is a real thing?
It's kind of scary though. Like this is rough because like everybody knows healthy people are skinny, and when you're fat, you could be a healthier version of fat. You know, there's fat people who are just eating nonstop Taco Bell, and there's fat people who maybe they just eat a bunch of whole foods that are good. They're just eating in excess, so they're still getting fat. They're both still bad at the end of the day. You're still going to have a lot of problems and complications from both sides. So would I consider any fat person to be healthy? Not at all. If you are fat, you are not healthy, and you need to lose weight. Period. That's just how it is. So it's crazy that other people can say, oh, well, it depends on your body. No, and even if you're like a sumo wrestler and you have a clean diet, but you're just eating in excess because you want to get fat for sumo wrestling, you're still unhealthy. You're still fat. You're just doing it for a sport that you want to compete in. That's it. So, fat phobia. I guess this is what it is. Really cringe. I am an extremely fat phobic person by their definition, and I am proud of that. But at the end of the day, stop being fat.